إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستغفره ونستعينه ونستهديه ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فهو المهتد ومن يضلل فلن تجد له وليا مرشدا ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا وحبيبنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. عباد الله، أوصيكم ونفسي المقصرة أولا بتقوى الله، فاتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. ثم أما بعد. All praises are due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most gracious and the most merciful. The best of his peace and blessings shall be bestowed upon his beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and upon those that follow his footsteps. Dear brothers and sisters in Islam, we always focus on the concept of developing our community and the betterment of our community in specific and developing the quality of human life, which is a responsibility that we bear as Muslims, believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the creator and the sustainer and the provider of every creation and every human being. And out of that sense, we should always be looking for ways to improve the condition, any condition, anything. Our focus as Muslims is continuously making things better, which is resembled in the word islah, reform, development, improvement. We're continuously seeking the betterment of ourselves as individuals, of our families, our group, our masajid, our community, our country, and the whole world. This is the mindset of a Muslim. Thus, we should always be looking for ways to achieve this goal. Starting with the best source of guidance, the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. After understanding the problems that surround us at different levels, we need to turn back to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and look for solutions and answers. One of the problems that we have, and it could be one of the most difficult ones, is always failing in delivering or completing our tasks. And I'm talking at an individual level, whether it's work, employment, business, family, public work, tarbiyah. We don't get the best results. People will ask themselves why. Why aren't we getting the best results in everything we do? And what can we find in the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that would help us improve this point? And why is it important for us to get good results anyways? Or is it important? Or is it okay to settle for 50% results? Outcome. Or 40%, or 60%, whatever. Get something. Do we have to be perfectionists? Is that the name of the game? Now we know that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam informed us, إِذَا عَمَلَ أَحَدُكُمْ عَمَلًا فَلْيُتْقِنْ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us in several ayat to perform ihsan. Allah yuhibbul muhsinin. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam told us to perfect what we do. If we do anything, we try our best to get the best results. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves those who perform ihsan in everything. And ihsan in everything is hitting the highest level of performance. We don't accept good, we want better, we want excellence. This is the basis of our deen. This is what our source tells us. But how do we get to that level in everything we do? Let's start with the story of a great prophet, Musa alayhi wa ala rasulina salatu wassalam. In a very famous story, when Sayyidina Musa went to Midian after fleeing from Egypt, while he was sitting in a shade of a tree, and he saw the two girls going to get some water. We all know the story, the daughters of Shu'aib alayhi salam. In the famous ayah, Surah Al-Qasas, one of the daughters said, قالت إحداهما يا أبت استأجره إن خير من استأجرت القوي الأمين. So, when Sayyidina Musa saw the two daughters of Shu'aib alayhi salam going to get water in a condition that was difficult for them. There were a lot of men, stronger, bigger, trying to get water. It wasn't easy for them to get the water from the well, so he helped them. So one of the girls went back to her father and said, "Oh father, why don't you hire this man? Why don't you hire this man?" So here's a condition where a person is looking for someone to perform a task. And as any employer, you want to get the best out of this person. Then she mentions two qualities. She said, إِنَّ خَيْرَ مَنِ اسْتَأْجَرْتَ الْقَوِيُّ الْأَمِينُ. The best person you will hire to do the job is the person that possesses or has two qualities: qawi, strong, and ameen, trustworthy. Strong and trustworthy. Now if you look at these two words, for me, these are an amazing description of many, many qualities that you could need in anything you do. So two general description: strength and trustworthiness. What is strength and what is trustworthiness? For this particular incident, her father asked her, "How do you know that he's strong?" She said, "Because he was able to lift a huge rock by himself, and this rock will take 10 men to lift." So his physical strength was needed for that job, and she was able to witness it. And then he asked her, "So how do you know he's trustworthy?" She said, "Because he asked me to walk behind him so he won't notice my body because it was a windy day." So he's an ameen, trustworthy. He doesn't have wrong intentions, which means he will focus on the job and he will focus on delivering the task. If we take these two titles, and I call them titles because there's a lot of details inside each one of them: being strong and being trustworthy. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is putting more emphasis on these two qualities, even when he talks about subhanahu, about Jibreel alayhi salam, the archangel, who has a very, very important task, which is delivering al-wahy, al-risala, the message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to humans. Very important task, very critical. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes Jibreel alayhi salam saying in Surah Al-Takwir, إِنَّهُ لَقَوْلُ رَسُولٍ كَرِيمٍ ذِي قُوَّةٍ عِنْدَ ذِي الْعَرْشِ مَكِينٍ مُطَاعٍ ثَمَّ أَمِينٍ. Again, قوي, أمين, ذو قوة. Certain strength are required for that job, and trustworthiness is required for that job. As we said, strength may vary. It could be physical, it could be knowledge, it could be skills, it could be experience. And then trustworthiness to deliver and focus on the task. Moreover, we see the same two qualities mentioned in the story of Sulaiman alayhi salam, as he was talking to his followers about Saba, the queen of the south of Yemen at his time, where he said, قال يا أيها الملأ أيكم يأتيني بعرشها قبل أن يأتوني مسلمين. He's talking to his followers, saying, who can get me the throne of Saba before they arrive? They were on their way from Saba to Philistine, and he said, who can do this job for me? A very important task, because it's a task of show of power for Sayyidina Sulaiman. He wants to show Saba what a Nabi can do in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So he said, who can do this important task for me? قال عفريت من الجن أنا آتيك به قبل أن تقوم من مقامك وإني عليه لقوي أمين. One of his followers said, I will get you the throne before even you stand up or get up from your seat. And I am, what are the two things? How did he market himself? How did he present himself as the right person to do the job? إني عليه لقوي أمين. I have the strength required to do the job, and I have the amana. I'm trustworthy. I will do it, and I will do it right. That means we derive out of this is when we're about to do a task, people, we don't just do a task for doing the task. We do the task to complete it. It is important that when we are about to commit ourselves to something, we need to do it right. We need to know that we will do it right. As opposed to what we see around us, whether it's in public service, work, tarbiyah, marriage. Yeah, I want to do this. Oh, I can do this job. Are you qualified to do the job? No, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will help me. I have the good niyyah. I will do the job. We don't end up delivering. We end up hurting. But whose responsibility is it to make sure that the person that's about to do the job is qawi and ameen, has the strength and is trustworthy? Whose responsibility is it? There are two parties, two sides to this. There is a mustajir wal mustajar. There is the employer and the employee. There is the person that's going to do the job, and there's the person that will hire the person to do the job. Who is responsible to ensure that strength and trustworthiness exist? It's both parties. It's an amana on both to verify. So if you're being employed or hired, whether paid or not paid, even if you're doing public work, even if you're coming to clean the masjid, provide a service to public, give an advice, as simple as that. It's an amana on you to know that you're qualified to deliver, whatever the job is. I mean, if the job is simply, let's come and clean the masjid, even that needs qualification. Are you physically capable? Or are you going to come down and say, I want to help? Then when you get here, oh Allah, I have back problems, I cannot lift, so I'm going to be sitting down and make dua for you guys. It sounds like it's a good intention, but it doesn't work. Because by you doing this, you prevented the group from completing the task. Even as simple as that. You need to make sure that you're capable of delivering. And we have a good example in Yusuf alayhi wa sallam in his story. When he was brought out of the jail by the king, where the king said, وَقَالَ أَتُونِي بِهِ أَسْتَخْلِصْهُ لِنَفْسِي. Bring this man. It seems like he's got good qualities after what he heard about him. His reputation was good. Bring him, let me see him. I want to use him. I want to hire him. فَلَمَّا كَلَّمَهُ قَالَ إِنَّكَ الْيَوْمَ لَدَيْنَا مَكِينٌ أَمِينٌ. You got a place for you, and we trust you because we heard good things about you. So this man from this ayah has done his due diligence in asking about him, the king, and he brought him in because he heard and he knew that he was Amin. He was trustworthy. But what did Sayyidina Yusuf say? قَالَ اجْعَلْنِي عَلَى خَزَائِنِ الْأَرْضِ إِنِّي حَفِيظٌ عَلِيمٌ. Allahu Akbar. Look at the amana of presenting yourself to the job. Hire me على خزائن الأرض, equivalent to being a minister of finance. Let me take care of the finances. إِنِّي حَفِيظٌ أَمِينٌ. I'm trustworthy. I got the strength to do the job. I got the right qualities. And I will deliver. Not just because I'm a Nabi. This is important here. He was a Nabi. I'm a righteous man. And I have the Quran. I perform my salah. Does that mean you will deliver that specific task? Not necessarily. As a Nabi, you have to have, or as a Nabi Sayyidina Yusuf had the amana to say, give me the job and I will deliver. This is what we learn from Al-Anbiya. We have the amana to assess ourselves before anybody assess us. Before anybody test us, we test ourselves. We qualify ourselves before anybody qualifies, because we know if I'm in a certain field, I want to apply for a job. If I'm in the medical field, there are a lot of examinations, not easy to get in. But I also have to know that I'm qualified. I have to better myself. If I'm in business, if I'm in service, whatever it is I'm in, it is my responsibility first as a Muslim who knows that this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants from me, to qualify myself and to make sure I'm fit. Not just fit. Qawiyun Amin. Not just I can do it. Qawi, strong, expert, trustworthy. We strive for perfection even if we don't reach it. Do not let the weak link to be yourself. Do not let the weakness be in you. You be prepared. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to be ready. Wants us to be at our best. Whatever comes after, at least you're not the one to blame. This is what Sayyidina Yusuf did. But on the employer side, an interesting story with Al-Faruq Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, the man of institutions, the man of development, the man of order. How did he, as an employer, hire his employees? A famous story where he was hiring a governor in one of the areas of his dawla, of his state. At his time, he brought in the man after qualifying him. But look at the diligence. Look at the precision. Look at the amana that he holds as Umar, that we all know. He was worried that he will be questioned about a sheep. تَعْثُرْ فِي الْعِرَاقِ إِن لَمْ يُمَهِدْ لَهَا الطَّرِيقِ. He was worried that he will be questioned about a sheep that will trip miles and miles away if he did not do his job in paving the path or the road for it. Look at the amana. How did this man hire his employees? So a story where he brought in his governor, one of the governors that he hired, and he said, "Khud ahdak." Here's your task. Defined, clear. Here's your task. وانصرف إلى عملك. Here's your task, here's what you need to do. Go to your job. واعلم أنك مصروف رأس سنتك. And know that I will be calling you back after 1 year. Now you do your diligence as an employer. You hire somebody or you hire someone to do work at home. You do your diligence, you ask, but it doesn't stop there. If it's a long-term contract, there's more to do. Let's learn from Umar radiallahu anhu. وَاعْلَمْ أَنَّكَ مَصْرُوفٌ رَأْسَ سَنَتِكَ. Know that I will be calling you back after 1 year. Why? وَإِنَّكَ تَصِيرُ إِلَى أَرْبَعِ خِلَالٍ. Look at the precision and the understanding. Courses and books are written in this field. When you come back after a year, you will be in one of 4 conditions. As an employee, you will be one of 4 conditions. إِنْ وَجَدْنَاكَ أَمِينًا ضَعِيفًا. If we find you trustworthy as a governor, you're not going to accept bribery, you don't have corruption, you don't steal people's money, you don't misuse your power. Ameen, you're good to people, trustworthy. However, ضعيف. If we find you trustworthy but weak, what happens? What would Umar do? استبدلناك لضعفك. You will lose your job. Because being ameen is not enough. Because your strength, your skills, your knowledge, your expertise are important to get the task performed properly. How are you going to govern a town or a city and make sure safety is good, economy is good, development is good? If you're weak, you'll be pushed around. You're not going to get anything done. So even if you're ameen, trustworthy, but you're weak, استبدلناك لضعفك. You'll get fired. Simple as that. However, وسلمتك من معرفتنا أمانتك. But you will not get punished. Because you were ameen, we're not going to punish you, but you will get fired. So a person that's ameen but weak should not do the job, should get fired. وَإِنْ وَجَدْنَاكَ خَائِنًا قَوِيًّا. That's an interesting one. If we find you kha'in, not trustworthy, you might have do things that we might not know about. But then we hear that you are a kha'in. You're not being straightforward with people. Maybe there are things happening behind the bush. But strong, delivering on your task. What happens for this man? استهنا بقوتك. We will disregard and devalue your strength. وأوجعنا ظهرك. And you will be punished. You will be punished for being a kha'in. You will severely be punished. أوجعنا ظهرك وأحسننا أدبك. And we will teach you how to be an ameen. However, you will keep your job. Why? Isn't amana the most important element in this equation? No. It's a quwwah. Why? Because the strength in delivering the job is tied to the public's interest. Because who's important here? Your amana could be directly between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If your boss catches you, you'll get punished for it. If your boss does not catch you, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish you for it. So it will affect you directly. Your amana has more effect on you. However, your strength has effect on the public. And the system in Islam is about protecting the public, improving the public condition. So this man that was a kha'in and weak and strong was able to keep his job, but he was punished for his khiyana. وإن جمعت الجرمين الضعف والخيانة جمعنا عليك المضرتين العزل والتأديب. And if you are weak and kha'in, مصيبة. You will be fired and punished. وإن وجدناك أمينا قويا زدناك في عملك ورفعنا لك ذكرك وأوطأنا لك عقبك. And if you hit the jackpot, if you hit the right thing, strong and trustworthy, we will reward you, we will promote you, and we will support you. This is what an employer should do, and this is what we learn from Sayyidina Umar رضي الله عنه وارضاه. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لكم فاستغفروه لا يفوز المستغفر. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. So my dear brothers and sisters, القوة والأمانة, القوة والأمانة, القوة والأمانة أوصيكم. I advise you, I advise myself in everything we do. Whether we are doing the job or hiring someone or asking someone to do the job, let's focus on strength, the skills required, and the amana, the trustworthiness. To make sure people are doing things with right intention, having Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in mind to keep them focused on delivering the best results. What if this doesn't happen? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam once was asked, متى الساعة يا رسول الله صلى الله محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم? When is the sa'a? When is the hour? When is the day of judgment? What was his answer? He said, إذا ضيعت الأمانة فانتظر الساعة. The hour will come if we waste or lose the amana, the trustworthiness. And listen to this carefully, my dear brothers and sisters. He was asked, وكيف تضيع الأمانة? How do we waste or lose the trustworthiness? He said in a very important statement, إذا أوشد الأمر إلى غير أهله ضيعت الأمانة أو إذا أوشد الأمر إلى غير أهله فانتظر الساعة. If tasks or jobs were given to people that are not qualified, await the judgment day. What does that mean? From one of the explanations, what happens on the judgment day? Destruction happens. Chaos happens. Failure happens. So what happens is, if we start giving jobs to unqualified people, or if we ask people take on jobs and we're not qualified for them, await the sa'a. You will cause destruction. For those of you that work in business or in companies, you know how much money and time is being wasted because of hiring unqualified people. For those of you that once hired someone to do something for them at home, you know how much time and money you could waste because you need to repeat the job once and twice and 3 times. Money is wasted, time is wasted, lawsuits are launched, fights, tension, because we don't hire the right people, because the person that's about to do the job is not ameen to say I have the quwwah and amana, and the person that's hiring is not doing their due diligence to qualify. Listen to this hadith, very scary one. Rasulullah said, and this hadith is Silsila Sahih al-Albani, من تولى عملا وهو يعلم أنه ليس لذلك العمل أهل. Whoever take on a job, listen and listen well, whoever takes on a job knowing that you're not qualified for that job, فليتبوأ مقعده من النار. Rasulullah said. This is scary, my dear brothers and sisters. If you take on a job, knowing that you're not qualified, knowing that I'll take it now, then I'll deal with it later, you got a reserved spot in hell. Why? Because you're going to hurt people. Because you're going to hurt public. Because you're going to cause chaos and problems. People will say, why is this happening? Why is this man doing this? I'm never dealing with a Muslim anymore. I'm never dealing with this person anymore. And it's not you that's going to pay the price. It's your group. All of a sudden, it's Islam. It's Al-Arab. It's the Indo-Pak community. It's the Turkish community. Everybody will pay the price for your mistake. So by not being Ameen, you're going to hurt everybody. This is why the punishment is huge. So we be very careful. I end with this. Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah said, ولذلك كان النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يستعمل الرجل لمصلحة مع أنه قد كان يكون مع الأمير من هو أفضل منه في العلم والإيمان. Rasul صلى الله عليه وسلم, in a task, if there are, and it happens, we know many stories of in some of the troops where there was Umar and Abu Bakr and Sahaba Kiram, ilm wa iman, but someone else will lead. Why? Because that person has the strength for the job. So Rasulullah ﷺ taught us to choose the right person for the job, the right strength, even if there is more iman with someone else. Let's take this principle, my dear brothers and sisters, and apply it in our lives. Everything we do, when we are about to get married, do I have the strength and trustworthiness? Do I know how to perform my task in supporting my family, supporting my wife, what I need to do when I'm about to become a parent? Am I qawiyun ameen? Do I know what tarbiyah means? How do I need to do it when I'm about to work with a community? Am I qawiyun ameen? Do I know what do I need to do to support my community and do the right job and not cause destruction and chaos? When I'm a citizen of this country, do I know my rights and my duties as a citizen to do it right, so I will not break the law and cause problems in everything we do, my dear brothers and sisters? Let's focus on becoming the best in everything, having the strength and having the amana. If we start exercising this and demanding it, inshallah, we will better a condition to be the best individuals, the best group, the best community, and the best nation. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help us reach that status of strength and iman. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us understand our deen and help us apply it. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to enlighten our hearts and our minds. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the love of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and the love of those who love him. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us and bless us, protect our children and bless them, protect all the weak ones across the globe. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. إن الله يأمركم بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون فاذكروا الله يذكركم واستغفروه يغفر لكم والله يعلم ما تصنعون. قوموا إلى صلاتكم يرحمكم الله.